Hello, everybody.
Hello, how's everybody doing? Um, I guess we should jump right on in. Um, God, this is
We're
hard to
going on
say.
hiatus. Just let it out.
um, Kelly and I have been doing a lot of thinking, and as writers, we are completely unsatisfied with a lot of stuff that we're producing. It's not that we but we do feel unhappy with some of the stuff that happened in the past that we did and some of the rewrites and going around in circles of who is you okay? Who was the original murder victim and with with, with Tess and all that stuff in season 1 and the rewrites and Cat coming in. It just felt like we're always trying to compensate for our season. And Kelly and I have been really thinking and chosen to do something very daring for a successful series. We've actually chose to put the series on hiatus and to reboot the series.
And we're really excited about the reboot.
I'm really excited.
It was a lot of thinking and a lot of discussing about whether we really even want to, if we wanted to finish writing what we were or just really start with a fresh take on what we wanted, if that makes sense. And I know that might be confusing to our fans, and we do appreciate you all for reading, and we all appreciate the support. But we've also heard from some other people that the reboot is what's needed to make it a more, what's a good word for it?
To be honest, and I'm gonna be honest, Blissful was never supposed to be a full out soap.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be more of an intellectual, psychological drama full of dangerous elements at play, and it eventually, due to me and due to what we, not pressures, but due to
different hands in the cookie jar.
Planning and helping, it became so many other people's voice inside of our own writing. We were writing our characters perfectly fine. We were doing the story perfectly fine, but were we actually interpreting what we really wanted to do and what we set out to do? Yeah. And that was the question that I asked Kelly and Kelly asked me, and when we came up to the conclusion, it was very simple what we needed to do. Go back to the drawing boards and reboot our series. What I will tell you is we're not doing direct soap anymore. This isn't soap. This is drama now. And it'll have elements still of soap because I love soap. I am soap. I breathe it. I watch all the daytime shows. I watch all the primetime soaps. But at the same time, I feel like Kelly and I connect as writers more so not with the soap angle, but more so with the angle of
human drama. Yes, human drama is a good way to put it, I guess.
And we're on something along the lanes of now where Blissful was a high concept soap. The original Blissful, because we're not calling it Blissful anymore. Also,
we have to figure out how to do that. I will figure out the domain name because we did register blissfulseries.com for the domain name for a year. So we'll have to figure out what we're doing with the site. But yeah.
Well, I mean, we could still call it Blissful.
I think we could, and I think if you guys want us to still call it back, let us know. And I think just be aware it's not going to be the same Blissful because we've been planning the reboot and it's completely different. Let's just put that out there. It's not going to be.
I think we can tell them not any of the stories.
Yeah.
But we could tell them a lot of what we're doing. Instead of it being a small town, Atlas Falls is now not a lot of what we're doing, but just a little. Look. Instead of a small town, Atlas Falls is now a city, and we're playing
Think
a social and
Philadelphia
economic.
or Salt Lake City from where I'm from, or where Chris used to be from, Chicago. It's a big city, like maybe 600 to 700,000 people. It's a real plain canvas. Does that make? I don't know if that makes sense, but it's a real city. It's not like a little itty bitty thing. And that was our mistake before, and we went back and fixed that.
Well, the expansion was supposed to fix that in the original, but why try to make a city when we can just redo everything?
Yeah.
We can just redo everything from the beginning. But anyway, it's definitely playing with a lot of social and economical and timely stories. We're doing very timely stories to the world we're living in at this point. And I think that's one thing that me and Kelly really wanted to do. Really wanted to give stories that we really wanted to give stories that really touch the human soul and where you felt something for it. And I think starting right off the bat, the first scene that we've actually done, because we are in the first episode, the new
Obviously,
pilot.
we are. Sorry, people. Obviously, we're writing.
But the first scene we did for the new pilot doesn't harken back to the original scene. It is something so different. And you're getting new spins on all these characters that you care about in a way. We're not changing the character. We're giving new dimensions to them.
Yeah.
So you're still going to get Selena and Brayden. You're still going to get the same, well, different Jackson and Danny, but you're going to get the same intense love affair that you loved. But it's going to be done differently. We're building it now. It's much different. And I will tell you that we're dropping all the multiple families on this canvas, and it's more so grounded in the Devonshires this time, and not so much the Devonshires, the Montgomerys, the Clarks, the this
Yeah.
family, this one, and this one. And yes, we loved our Game of Thrones aspect with it, and we still have
We
those.
still have it. It's just different.
It's just now different because we harnessed it, and I'm really excited to see what we think. You think we're really playing with the something that I believe that we kind of shifted away from in season 2, even though our season 2 to me is the stronger out of our 2 seasons.
Yeah.
We really shifted and turned away from what's the word? We turned away from the glitz and the glamour of life, of the rich and famous, and we still are adding those glamorous elements, those trips, those jets that you're always gonna hear about, because you know I love to dress my character. Y'all know I love to dress my character. So you're always gonna hear about the glamour in effect, but for everything that's beautiful is something ugly. And for something ugly in Atlas Falls, it's the other side of town. And we're really getting to play with that dynamic now. You know, we're introducing characters that have a lot more grit, I guess you would say. And they're not so poised anymore. And we're not worried about the prim and the proper girls no more. Because I hate to say this. How far are we along? Because Kelly, we said 15 minutes and we're done.
Righty. It's good. Keep going.
Okay. I hate to say this. But some of the black portrayals of women on web soaps have been very cliche.
And bad.
And bad, yes. You said it. And even the black male characters I've seen haven't been the best. And as an African American, I want to show some of the other writers how to write this type of character. If you're going to do a sassy black woman, you give her the layers with that sassiness. You know? So I'm not talking, and this is no shade to anybody. It's just things that I noticed. And I want to portray the women and the people that I know in life. So with that being said, you're going to get to see a different side of Atlas Falls. It's not so glamorous anymore. It's not cherry hills and those gorgeous is it's another side of this city that's full of poverty and full of people struggling and drugs and violence. You're gonna get to experience that along with the glamour, and I think that makes such a more diverse show, and it makes such more interesting dynamics in play. You're gonna have drug dealers on canvas now. You're gonna have strippers on canvas now. You're gonna have businessmen. You're gonna have have so much more. And some of those characters are characters that you love already.
They've just been
so
reinvented, so to speak.
And I'm sorry, you can go, Kelly.
Chris is on a good point. We both really wanted to tell a more gritty, primetime oriented TV show.
Definitely.
And I think, or serial, not that this is a TV show because we might go to 20 minutes. But Patrick, I like shows like Breaking Bad and Sons of Anarchy and Game of Thrones and Mad Men, and I like the intense psychological character human driven storylines it creates. And I think that was really something that both of us, when we were talking about it over the last few weeks, that we felt Blissful was missing. Does that make sense? We had all these...
A lot of people are going to look at it and say, y'all messing with something that's, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
And I think...
But to us...
It's not our best.
It's not our best.
And
go ahead, sorry.
We were discussing, we've both been reading season 1, and I still feel halfway into season 2 when we talked about it, that season 1 was still really bugging me.
It was.
Because we had so many different hands in the cookie jar, like Chris was saying, and whereas now we stripped it back to the bare bones, and you got the drug dealers, you get the mob, which anyone who knows me, I'm really excited about it again. And I feel like it would have been too campy to put it in Old Blissful. I'll be honest, like Old Blissful, it could never be there. I would cringe writing it if it was on Old Blissful, because I don't think we would be able to explore the layers we wanted, whereas we can with this side. And I'm excited. The site will stay up so you guys can still look at it and everything. I'm not going to take that down or anything. If you guys want to read Old Blissful, then when I launch the new site, which will have a redesign and everything. I've been working on that for a few months, which is good. That by all means do. We want you guys to be excited and get amped for it. I don't know. We may even do some like picture teasers or something for the new season, but.
We're not reboot.
And when I say stripping it down, like Chris said, there's going to be a lot of the same elements that are in play, and Chris and I have talked about this a lot, that we know who we want. Is that a good... We know who we want.
And who's now leaving. We have cut our cast down, so for people who felt like our cast was too large at a point,
we've cut like 25 characters. So we've done that, and we know the romances and the passion that we want to tell for different couples. And I think, like Chris said, you're still going to get those couples, but it's going to be
Jackson and Danny. I feel like we're not spoiling anything by saying this. There's still going to be a BDSM couple.
Because I know you guys are probably going to ask about that. I
might as well get it out the way, and we might as well just say it. Jackson and Danny aren't changing.
It's just how
have we been at 15 minutes, Kelly?
We're going to go to 20. We're going to go to 20. Go on.
Go to 20? Okay.
Yeah, we'll go to 20. They deserve it. They've been waiting a few weeks.
I know. And we do apologize for the people who were hanging in there with the storylines and they were in love with all the stuff that we were doing. But at the same time, if we're not satisfied as writers, how can we satisfy your craving of... It just felt like and I think it's no secret when Ashley came into play, our storylines had to shift because we got a third writer,
I
and
think
so many
fans
people,
can
and we
tell.
appreciate every
Yeah,
person who came in and helped us retool that after Ashley decided to leave the Blissful family.
there was a shift in the
However, the
episodes.
thing,
You can tell when you're reading it, and Chris and I could both tell it. There's this like dramatic like
it
boom,
shifts
like
so much.
zigzag.
It goes like this,
Yeah.
and it's like you don't get a clear vision of what we wanted. And by season two, we're trying to make up and kind of keep up with the soapiness that we had to incorporate in there, and
It didn't feel like our show.
it didn't feel like our show. We were adding these kick-ass boom moments into this series. Audrey's death, the baby swap, these emotionally gripping moments into the series, and it still didn't feel like Kelly and and at that point,
We took a
we
step back.
knew that where we had to go with this series, like relaunching it, rebooting it to the ground up. I will say that you're gonna get some of the same characters, but you're gonna get them in ways you've never seen, and the ways that we really want to see them now. Um, just understand that we want at least 10 episodes first, guys. We want at least 10. So we're on our first one. We're doing it. The reboot. I will tell you that by far. I will tell you by far, the reboot has been one of the best experiences. Like Kelly and I, just today, we get so passionate. It's almost like we're arguing about this series because we want it to be the best. Eventually,
Sam,
um,
shush. Sorry. My dog's barking.
eventually we want to we're gonna even try to do a screenplay with it and ship it out to networks. So we're invested in the Blissful world. Don't ever think we're not. But right now, to get to we debated keeping this version of Blissful. We really did, guys. And then we said, you know what? If we're gonna write another series or that's Blissful as if we're gonna do Blissful as a screenplay and try to get it out there to the media and to the world and maybe even produce it out there and on a primetime show, then there is no way that we can keep it the way we have it. And we understood the emotions in the series. What we didn't have is the story behind it. And not in season two. We love season two. Don't get us wrong. But season one was it was just so much going on in season one. And some of the stuff was Kelly and me. Then some of the stuff was
Ashley and some other people. Yeah.
and Sarah not ever really joining us. And y'all don't know a lot of the behind the scenes that why certain stories were changed so many times. But that's neither here nor there.
We're moving onward.
Exactly. Where we're at now, we are at a place where stories are flourishing. Stories are growing. And stories are making us feel like we're writing something that could be a screenplay, that could be on TV at the moment. That's what we're aiming for. If you guys watch Empire, and this is no shade to none of the other web soap writers, but how far ahead of the time were me and Kelly to come up with that concept before even Empire came up with it? With the Jackson Max, Chauncey, Rory, and Bliss all fighting for their father's kingdom. We already had that story before Empire even came out. So the way we're thinking of it is, it's time to really show what we can do in the real world and try to get our stuff out there, whether it be a novel, a screenplay, a web series. Kelly and I are cooking our head up on a lot, but at this moment in time, we know we want to at least produce the series that we want to do and produce the series that we want to get out there to the world that we believe in so much.
Yeah.
We want to do it right. So my final thoughts are, and Kelly, you can give your final thoughts too in one spoiler and throw it back to me, and then we'll give them one spoiler and we'll be gone.
Okay.
But my final thoughts are: please be on the lookout for this. You've never quite seen anything like this, and I can say that in the web fiction world, you've never had the African American struggle, the Latino struggle, the struggle of life. And I feel like as an African American man, I can tell that story, and Kelly can give me her side and of the mind state. And we're actually gonna the biggest spoiler I'm gonna give today. We have a new character that everybody that we previewed this character, Kelly, and you can attest to that we preview our stuff too, and we've been talking through because we were fighting this. We didn't know what to do. But we have a new character, and she's an African American woman, and she has been revered as one of the best new leading heroines on Blissful. So if you have any, and she's a stripper, and she's a drug, and she's a heroine. So I'm really excited to play the darker aspect of the African American community.
Patrick can play in a few minutes, okay?
The lighter aspect of the rich and luxurious.
That's not our cat, I don't think.
Selena. It's such a contrast. I could tell you her name. Her name is Yasmin, guys. It's such a contrast that I get to play this uppity black woman who has everything in the world with Selena. And then I have to play another black woman who's struggling for everything. And she's fighting her way to get to where she wants to go. And she's not a bitch or a vixen, but she's a black woman who's strong and she's sassy. So I'm really excited for you guys to meet Yasmin. And I guess that was my spoiler. Kelly, your final thoughts?
I'm excited. People know me, and I like the intense character-driven dramas. I've always really strived for that. And I feel like Old Blissful was good, but there were certain moments that we skipped to get to the soapiness. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're redoing it differently to get to those moments.
And by differently, we're not doing none of the same stories. I'm just gonna be honest. We're not doing a lot of the same stories. You're gonna get some of the same couples, but you're not gonna
different
get the same
stories. And that's a good thing. What should my spoilers? I've been really quiet, but Chris already said all what I wanted to say.
You want to tell Yasmin?
I did, but it's a good one.
Oh, Kelly returning back to Mobsters. Is that a good one? You guys love Kelly when she wrote Dangerous Time. She's writing on this.
I'm really happy. I guess I already kind of spoiled that, but I'm really excited about that. I've missed my Soprano family or my O'Connor family. Not that I'm rebooting Dangerous Tides, but Chris and I talked about it. If we ever brought the mob in, it had to be done right. And you can't get very much more done right than drugs and strippers. It was the perfect time to do it. And I think, like Dangerous Tides, even mobsters are human. And I'm really excited about that. I want to give him another one, but I'm not sure which one, because we already talked about them all.
Well, you're giving one good one. Hurry up. We're at 24, 25, 55.
Okay, I got a good one. There's a big spoiler with the Fraser family, that's all I'm going to say. Someone is not possibly 6 feet under anymore.
And there is no such thing as Harvey Leclerc in this version. So take that as what you want.
And I think fans will be excited about that, so.
Take that as what you want. So, with that being said, we went 5 minutes over. We went 10 minutes over what we said we were really going to do.
That's okay.
But, just be on the lookout. We're doing probably one of the most daring stories I've ever seen. It's going to be honest with you. We're pulling one of the most daring stories I've ever seen on web series, and it's ripped from the headline, and it's ripped from I'm passionate about, Kelly's passionate about, and I want everyone to really get into what we're about to do because I feel like we're about to change the game once again. So if you thought we did it before,
All right. Bye, everybody.
all right.